right, welcome to Chapter 11, Lesson 13, Converting Metric Units of Capacity. So far we have done metric units of length. Those were millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. We did metric units of mass, which were grams, milligrams, kilograms, and now we're doing metric units of capacity. So now we're talking about liters is kind of our base unit, which we abbreviate with a capital L, and milliliters. So this is, remember capacity, we did it with customary units. That's the unit we use in the United States, so it was cups, fluid ounces, gallons, quarts, pints, right? That was customary. Now we're talking about metric, the other system that's used in the rest of the world. So we have liters versus milliliters. And milliliters is about the amount of liquid in an eyedropper. So it's very small. Okay, and like the best thing I can think of that you've probably used milliliters in is your Tylenol, children's Tylenol. Usually you'd take 5 milliliters, right? So it's one of those, maybe you should go ask your parents. Go ask your parents if you can get the little syringe for the children's Tylenol, and that will show you about how much a milliliter is. And for my daughters, we even had a 1 milliliter dropper. It's so tiny and barely any liquid gets in there. So it's really a small unit of measurement. And then we have the liter. Okay, a liter is about a medium-sized sport drink. So your water bottle is usually about 1 liter. I'm checking mine to see if it says what it is. This says 620 milliliters. So it's not quite 1 liter because it would need to be 1,000 to be a liter. So let's get started. Okay, our first example here, a dripping faucet wastes about 90 liters of water every week. How many milliliters of water is this? So we're going to convert 90 liters to milliliters. So this is how I always like to think about it. Okay, so 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So 90 liters would be 90,000 milliliters. Don't say 9, right? Because 9 times 1,000 would be 9,000. We want 90, so we need 90,000. So what did I do there? I multiplied 90 by 1,000. So 90 liters is 90,000 milliliters. The dripping faucet wastes 90,000 milliliters of water. Example 2. A container of orange juice holds 580 milliliters. How many liters is 580 milliliters? So since 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, we need to divide 580 by 1,000. Okay, so 580 divided by 1,000, move the decimal point 3 places to the left, right? It's what we've been doing last 2 videos. Move that decimal point 1, 2, 3 spots. Now it's right there. So it'd be 0 and 58 hundredths. Because we don't need that 0. We could put it there if we want, but we don't need it. Okay, so 580 milliliters is 58 hundredths of a liter. The container holds 58 hundredths of a liter of orange juice. 6 liters equals how many milliliters? Okay, so if 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, then I know that I need to just multiply by 6 to get 6,000. So it equals 6,000 milliliters. Next one, 4 liters equals how many milliliters? 4,000, right? Because it's 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. Okay, I guess we have one more. And then we get the big page with a bunch of problems on it. So 7,000 milliliters equals how many liters? So I'm going to divide by 1,000, and that is going to be 7. So it equals 7 liters. 42 milliliters equals how many liters? So I need to take 42, divide it by 1,000. So if I'm dividing by 1,000, I'm going to move that decimal point. Again, it's right there. We don't see it always, but it's always there because it's just the space to the right of the ones place. I need to move it back 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So I'd put a 0 there and a 0 in my ones place. So it would be 0 and 0.042 or 42 thousandths. So 42 milliliters equals 0 and 42 thousandths of a liter. Okay, so here we have 6 liters equals how many milliliters? So again, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So that means 6 liters would be 6,000 milliliters. Here we have 13 liters equals how many milliliters? That same conversion rate. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, so that means 13 liters. 13 times 1,000 is 13,000. All right, so 54,000 milliliters, so I have to do 54,000 divided by 1,000 to figure out how many liters. So remember, when we're dividing by 1,000, we move that decimal point 3 spots to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it is 54 liters. Here I have 23,500 milliliters, divided by 1,000. So I need to move my decimal point 1, 2, 3 spots to the left to get 23.5 liters. Okay, I have 11,000 milliliters to liters. Whenever we go milliliters to liters, we're dividing. Liters to milliliters, we are multiplying. So I need to divide 11,000 divided by 1,000. Move that decimal point 1, 2, 3, 11. Okay, so here I have 0.201 liters, and I need to multiply it by 1,000 to figure out how many milliliters. So when I'm multiplying by 1,000, I'm just moving that decimal point 3 spots to the right. Notice multiplying moves it to the right. The way I always remember it is that when I'm multiplying, my number gets bigger, right? So this just went from 201 thousandths to 201. Well, 201 is a lot bigger than that decimal, which is about 20 cents, right? So there we go, 201 milliliters. Yesterday, Audrey drank the liquid shown in the table. How many liters of liquids did she drink in all? It wants liters, so we better change these two guys into liters. So I need to take 210, multiply it by 1,000. Divide. Divide by 1,000, and I need to take 480. Divide by 1,000. Okay, so that means move that decimal point, which is always right after the ones place. 1, 2, 3, so I get 0.21. And 1, 2, 3, so I get 0.48. And I need to add that together. 0.21, 0.48, and 1.2. Remember, when we're adding up decimals, line up the decimals. And then that decimal falls right below. So 8 and 1 makes 9. 4 and 2 makes 8. And 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. So how many liters of liquids did she drink? 1 and 89 hundredths liters. All right, 1 serving of punch is 250 milliliters. Will 10 servings fit in a 2-liter bowl? Explain. Okay, so if I want to if I want to take 250 milliliters, and I want to know, 10 servings, let's multiply it by 10. Remember, when we multiply by 10, we're moving that decimal point 1 spot. So 250 milliliters times 10 would make 2,500 milliliters, or, bring that decimal point back 3 spots, 2.5 liters is how much space we will need. Will it fit into a 2-liter bowl? No. It needs 2.5 liters, a 2.5 liter bowl to fit. Boom. All right, number 9, make sense of problems. Nara received a measles immunization at Dr. Arroyo's office. The vaccine was measured in cubic centimeters. A cubic centimeter has the same capacity, that's a liquid volume, how much does the container hold, as a milliliter. Okay, so cubic centimeters, milliliters, same thing. If each immunization is 3.5 cubic centimeters, how many individual immunizations could Dr. Arroyo provide with 3,500 liters of vaccine? Here's what I'm saying. Let's turn this 3,500 liters into milliliters. Okay, so I need to multiply by 1,000, which in turn is moving this 3 spots to the right. So it's making the number 350 milliliters. So I'm taking 350 milliliters and dividing it by 3.5. 3.5 milliliters or cubic centimeters to see how many are going to fit in there, right? So in order to divide this out, I cannot have a decimal on the outside. I need to multiply it by 10, which is just moving it once. I have to do the same thing to the inside. I hope you've been noticing this. A lot with math is finding, like, everything has to be balanced. We can't just do things because we feel like it. Like if we're going to do something to numerators, we do it to the denominator as well. If we do something to the inside, we also do it to the outside. So now my decimal point is right here and right here. Okay, so 35 divided by 35 is 1. Minus 35, we get 0. Hopefully you can see that's going to be 100. Let me erase all this so it's not so confusing. 100, right? Because I'm going to subtract 0, bring down my 0, so then it's still going to be 0. Then I'm at my decimal point. So how many individual immunizations? 100 immunizations. That's a doozy of a word. All right, last problem. Vocabulary check. Fill in the blank with the correct words that completes each sentence. The blank is an appropriate unit to measure the capacity of a hand sanitizer bottle. So we remember a milliliter is like a dropper, and a liter is like a sports bottle. Okay, so we would probably use milliliter, right? Because we usually don't have a sports bottle size of a hand sanitizer. Well, I guess we do at school, but I'm going milliliter for this one. Let's see what the next one is. The blank is an appropriate unit to measure the capacity of the water in a fountain. Well, like an outside, not like a water fountain, like an outside fountain that spurts water. So that would 100% be liter. Okay, a soup bowl can hold about 400 milliliters of soup. A restaurant has 8 liters of vegetable soup. How many bowls of soup can they serve? So let's turn 8 liters into milliliters. So I just have to do 8 times 1,000 or 8,000. And I'm going to divide that by 400 milliliter bowls because now 8,000 milliliters is the same as 8 liters. So if I divide this out, 800 divided by 400 would be 2, minus 800. 0 divided by 400 is 0, so it's going to be 20 bowls. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.